Um, uh, Lee celebrated the Mari Gray's goal. Ha ha ha! Real fan.
Yeah, I did. I celebrate every goal against Arsenal because it's one day closer to him getting sacked. Yeah, and this is people that don't understand and grasp the mentality of wanting your team to lose. Yeah, really need to listen to what I'm about to say because it might go in your heads, right? If Arteta won that game last night, everyone would be hyping him. Oh my God, yes, we're in a top 4 race. This is brilliant. The players are brilliant. But then what happens when we play West Ham in a couple of weeks and we lose? And then what happens if we beat Southampton before the West Ham game? Oh my God, 2 in a row. Then we lose to West Ham. Then we've got Leeds away and we lose to them. Then we've got Man City coming up. Then we've got Tottenham coming up. What about that? So every single loss is a step closer to getting the football club back, because all these irrelevant wins are exactly that. I said this to you the other week, Terry, when we were 10 unbeaten. Irrelevant runs of form that don't lead to a title charge. Irrelevant.
Do you know what's crazy about it? Do you know what's crazy
Arsenal Football Club, 3rd biggest club in the country, and we're acting like Barnet.
Do you know what's mad about it?
Stop hyping up irrelevant runs, man.
Do you know what's mad about it as well? I was looking at your away results in the Premier League this year. You played 8 games, lost 5 of them, as an example. And again, these things just seem to be getting consistently ignored. Now, it was looking good up until the international break. You'd lost the first 2, but then you'd won 2 and you'd drawn 1 against Brighton. But it was always about, well, what are you going to do after that? And your next run of games, I mean, your festive period. I said this before. I said this in a show recently. I can't remember what show it was. And I was like, I think your favorites, outright favorites in like 3 or 4 games in your festive period, and some of them are like 50-50. And again, Gunners, how are we 50-50 against West Ham and against Leeds and against
West Ham are beaters?
I literally said that Everton would be a bank of how bad they're playing, but I think he'll beat Southampton. I think West Ham, they've got an amazing opportunity to beat you because they've been great. Away at Leeds, if you're defending like that, I mean, Leeds are different because Leeds are so open. I think you'll beat them as an example.
I think that would be a draw, if I'm honest.
Norwich will be a win. I think with the way Wolves are playing, Wolves right now are so hard to break down, and they attack well on the counter.
That'd be a draw if we're lucky.
And then you've got Man City on New Year's Day. I mean, that's going to start your new year off.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, mate, it's going to be mad. And again, and someone said, where do you think Arsenal will finish? I think by Jan 2nd, Arsenal will be between 7th and 8th, but they will be about 6 or 7 points away from the top 4. And that'll be done and over by then. Not mathematically, but realistically, that'll be done and over. And
I actually predicted 11 points out of the 8 games throughout January, and then that Man City game. Yeah, we've got 8 games in total. I predicted 11 points. We've played 2. We've got 0 points.
Again,
and I was getting abused. So you don't know what you're talking about. Well, 0 points out of 2, mate. Yeah, he's got 6 games to find 11 points, and then I'm bang on.
One of my members here, Gunner King, good guy Gunner King, says, sorry, pal, you seem like a nice guy, Lee, but that's shameless. I think about celebrating your team sort of conceding and losing.
How's it shameless? How is it shameless? Right, so let's all jump up and down and celebrate that when we win, that's going to keep him here when we don't want him here. So why would we do that? But then goals against, I'll give an example, Lukaku. We all knew he was going to score against us. I was sitting there eating popcorn laughing because we knew it was coming. Ronaldo, we knew he was going to score against us. We've seen this story a million times before. Every single loss is a closer to him getting out the door. Yeah, so I want us to get pammed every week, mate. And if people don't like it, tough. Because I ain't ashamed to say it. This is my football club as well, mate, as well as everyone else's. Yeah, and I'll support my team how I want to. Because guess what? Yeah, outside the ground, it doesn't say Arteta Football Club. Doesn't say Stan Kroenke Football Club. It says Arsenal Football Club. Yeah, and the club is bigger than any manager, any paid employee. And I think the only person that is actually at this club that was here when I started supporting it is David O'Leary. The rest of them ain't here, mate. So why am I going to jump up and down and celebrate and gas up players that ain't going to be here in a couple of years? And, we've got to give Arteta another go. No, we don't. Yeah, the fact is, this geezer is holding my football club back. So I want him out. The only way to get him out is get battered because the majority of our fans are divs. Yeah, and they'll jump up and down and celebrate irrelevant runs that lead to nothing. So the only way to get him out is get hammered. And if Ramsdale hadn't have had a worldie at Anfield and just let them all go in, he probably would have been sacked at 8-0.
my mindset on wanting my team to lose has changed in the last few months. I was someone that always felt it was wrong until when Man United beat Tottenham. I was happy in the winning the game. I was like, yeah, we won. I remember being happy. And then I remember that the sinking feeling I got 3 days later when Nuno had been sacked and Antonio Conte was coming in and we still had Ollie there. And I understand when you just say it out loud, I want my team to lose, it's looked at as wrong because you should want your team to win. But it's almost a case of if your club was being run right, there would be no necessity to want your club to lose. Because if you look, for instance, Bayern Munich are a case in point in this. As soon as it starts going wrong with a manager, before things become precarious, before seasons are written off, or you're out of title races, or you're out of Champions Leagues, they sack, they move on. And I think that fans are almost forced into this tough love approach of wanting their team to lose. And I give you an example. Leah said it about Man United and was being like lambasted. When Man United sacked Ollie, you could feel after the Watford game, I got no sense from any Man United fan, top red or not, of pain or unhappiness by 8 o'clock that evening when they knew that he was gone. There was this this excitement. And it's a case of Ollie being sacked felt better than it was a bigger emotional outburst than getting beat 4-1 by Watford. I actually didn't that loss suddenly become inconsequential to me.
It was like, finally, he's gone.
I sat there. And the point is, if we would have acted like a proper club sooner, and I'm not even talking in the Ollie era, I'm talking years earlier, and built a structure that enabled a conveyor belt managerial approach, which I think you need in the modern day game, we would never have got to that point. So I think it's kind of, I get where Gunner King is coming from, and I used to feel exactly like that. But the last few months, it's a bit like this debate. So I was thinking about this morning. I was like, Arteta won the Lampard Ollie Arteta debate, but Arsenal lost it.
Yeah.
Arteta himself have won that debate, but Arsenal have lost it.
This geezer in your chat's doing my Sweden, right? If you don't, and he's put about 15 comments in, and all of them he's been chatting absolute bollocks. Yeah, Lee, if you don't hurt when you lose, you're not a real supporter. Well, who made you the supporter police, mate? Yeah, because I've done about £250,000 supporting my club over 40 years, mate. How much have you done? Yeah, I was in Ostersund, mate. Yeah, was you there? Like, I was in Bate Borisov, mate. Was you there? I paid £1,000 for that trip. I was at Atleti semi-final. Was you there? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Shut your mouth, man. Seriously.
I look at it this way. Like, I know Twisted is actually a Man United fan, to be fair.
Well, there you go. Okay, so was he in Munich at 99 then? Probably not, because he probably wasn't even born.
Do you know
what makes somebody a real supporter? What? Because you hurt when you lose. I couldn't care less if we lose. When I get my football club back, yeah, then I'll start having an emotional attachment to it again. Until then, I'm numb to it, mate. Yeah, and if you don't like it, tough. Yeah, because the fact and reality is, mate, I've done more of my hard-earned money watching my football club all over the globe, yeah, than the average Joe, mate. So I'll support it and say what I like about it, how I want to. And if people don't like it, that's their issue, man, because I ain't changing. When I get my club back and they start acting like the club that they smashed that stadium down for, then I'll get emotionally attached to it again. Until then, they can jog on.
Gunner King
that clears that up for you, mate.
Like Gunner King here says, how did our 10-game unbeaten run lead to nothing? We are 4 points off top 4 when you said you expected us to finish 10th. Either we've exceeded your expectations.
How many points off top are we, mate? How many points off top are we? What's the aim of elite level sport? It ain't to come fourth, is it? Jesus Christ, mate. Hundreds of thousands of people like this, unfortunately. I'm sure he's a nice enough lad.
Gunner King's a good guy, and it's obviously opinions on the terrace are important. I kind of look at it this way.
The aim of elite level sport is not to come fourth, it's to come first. I couldn't care less. That irrelevant run of form, we're currently 7th, right? 7th. I'm looking at the table right now, right? So well done. We're 4 points off of top 4. Who cares? Like, genuinely,
mate, and I totally get that, mate. I really do. I again, and Gunner King, I'm kind of addressing you here on this. I was saying this to Arsenal fans for a while. Just wait until the end of this. What I've seen happen. I get that, and I've seen it a little bit this season, and it's across all fan bases. But we're talking about Arsenal today specifically. It's like you did go on this run, and it put you in a position that was above the expectations. Again, not expectations, but above where say Lee and Ollie and Arteta are out as expected to be. My view was keep your powder dry and wait, because 2 or 3 results later, and you could be back where those guys predicted. Equally,
how is it every team apart from Leicester that's above us is in Europe? I thought Europe was going to help us. No, Europe was going to help us this season. How comes Tottenham and Man U have lost more games than us, and they've lost less games than us, but they've both sacked their managers? Yeah. Like, how comes we've got a minus goal difference, which, by the way, today marks the 108-year mark of the last time we had a minus goal difference. 7th of December 1913 was the last time we had a minus goal difference at this stage of a season.
Wow.
Yeah, and guess what? We got relegated that season.
Yeah.
The top owners in the chat go, we never got relegated. We've never been relegated. Do your research, mate. We did. We brought our way back in at the expense of Tottenham. I'm